As the snow starts to pick up again, so are the school buses. They're picking up kids and taking them back to school for the first time in 4 days. Bad news for people on both fronts. We got to add those long yellow buses to the morning commute as well. And with everyone getting back to business, now the state is taking steps to seek help from Washington itself. A lot of damage done by this blizzard. You probably know that by now. The Mass Emergency Management has already placed a conference call with many different local leaders and officials around the region trying to assess the overall damage and estimate the cost, how much damage really was done in dollars and cents. That information will plug into part of an application they submit to the feds for disaster recovery. It'll come from the Federal Disaster Management Agency. Governor Baker estimates the cost of the blizzard could be as much as $30 million, a lot of money. Elsewhere, testimony continues in the first murder trial of former New England Patriots tight end Aaron Hernandez. In Thursday's opening statements, prosecutors said it was his DNA that turned up on a marijuana cigarette along with murder victim Odin Lloyd. Now, Lloyd's family was brought to tears hearing the details of his death, how he died, his body riddled with bullets. Hernandez's defense attorneys opened up with their first statements, telling the jury that prosecutors actually zeroed in on Hernandez as soon as they learned about the high-profile player and his personal relationship to the victim. Defense attorneys say from that point on, the prosecution made several costly mistakes, bungling evidence, and even still, they say Hernandez never had a chance. Meanwhile, the prosecutors aren't even trying to claim Hernandez actually pulled the trigger. Instead, they started by showing grainy surveillance video from his home holding what they claim to be a gun in that footage. Now, from there, the prosecutors told the jury that Hernandez had orchestrated the whole murder from beginning to end and was actually at the scene of the crime when it happened. Defense attorneys countered, saying mere presence is not enough for a conviction. And elsewhere, after a break forced by the blizzard, jury selection resumes in another case, the Johar Tsarnaev trial for the Boston Marathon bombing. In their first day back to court, lawyers got right to it, sparring over whether or not the defense is asking appropriate questions of prospective jurors. Now, during the question of an engineer with a lengthy management resume, he was somebody who could be on the jury panel, the defense asked if he'd be able to stop and listen to other jurors during deliberation. Now, after he left the room, the government objected. They accused the defense team of trying to weed out any potential jurors who might show leadership capabilities in the panel. The government suggested that was trying to set the stage for a mistrial. The judge proclaimed that those questions shall not be used to sway the jury moving forward. At another point, the defense called the language on the jury questionnaires weak. Well, the judge responded, "I didn't write it. The defense and government agreed to those questions in the first place." Now, for no TV cameras in the federal courtroom, there certainly is a lot of drama playing out in front of our eyes. And in local healthcare business, this is a decision that could impact some of you. A judge kills the proposed merger of Partners Healthcare, of course, the owner of Mass General and Brigham Women's Hospital, with 3 suburban hospitals. That was the merger on the table. Now it's off the table. It's a battle 3 years in the making. Now it looks like it could be coming to a close. Partner has been fighting to merge with South Shore Hospital and with Hallmark Health Systems hospitals in Medford and Melrose. Now that agreement is dead. Superior Court Judge Janet Sanders issued a 48-page decision basically saying this deal would not help consumers. She doesn't think it would hold back high costs, and she also doesn't think it would help to benefit the community hospitals involved in the deal. There's your 3 strikes. The deal is now out. With newly installed Attorney General vowing to fight further, Maura Healey there, Partners now says it's not sure what their next move will be. And it turns out Catherine gets around. You know Catherine, the great white shark. She's the one who hung around Cape Cod, Massachusetts a lot in the summer of 2013. And Catherine just topped 10,000 miles, now closing in on Brevard County, Florida. She's a snowbird, it turns out. Greg Scoble and his team of researchers tracked her migration to those warmer waters. The researchers captured the 14-foot, 2,300-pound great white, fitted her dorsal fin with a satellite device, and named her back at the time. Since then, her journeys have captured the imagination of researchers and those shark geeks all over the country.